Welcome, everybody, back to episode 5 of the podcast. I have my wonderful, soon-to-be, hopefully, I'm working on her, co-host, but special guest today, Lulu, and we are going to be talking about marriage and insecurities in marriage, and I think that's a wonderful topic. Lou, introduce yourself, and let's get into it.
Hi, my name is Lulu, and it's so funny that you said episode number 5. Number five is my favorite number.
Oh,
so
really?
This is why I'm
wonderful.
like,
I love it. I love it.
I'm like, is this a joke right now?
No,
like,
this is great.
Awesome.
That's great. I love that.
Yes. So now you guys know my favorite number. And
okay, good.
My passwords. And
don't tell the people that. Don't tell them that.
I'm kidding.
Look, Lou, you're married.
Yes,
right?
I am married.
And tell the people how long you've been married.
Okay, I've been married for 11 years.
11 years.
Yes.
Oh, wow, that's a long time.
I know.
I didn't think that.
Yeah.
That's I'm sure that's a roller coaster ride.
It is. I think you just have to have a lot of tolerance for each other's bullshit for you to continue being with each other. Obviously, we see something, in us that makes us stay.
That's wonderful. Tolerance, communication, and just perseverance. I love to hear that. But one thing you talked about specifically that we want to talk about today is being married and insecurities.
Oh,
and that's a really big thing right now with couples that have been married for 1 year, 11 years, 20 years. And that goes for men and women, but in particularly right now, we're going to be talking about women and the men that have insecurities because sometimes they're gorgeous women.
Yeah. And I feel like it's so funny because there's always been insecurities, I'm sure, from like in AD time.
Right.
But I feel like now it's just been, exponential, like the types of different insecurities that we feel. And it's all because of social media.
Right.
So we see this, it's more prevalent now.
Absolutely. Social media has definitely, I believe, been a relationship killer or has been a big problem in relationships because prior to social media, you didn't know what everybody was doing. You didn't know where everybody was going.
You're like, you didn't know that the neighbor was hot. Like,
right.
You didn't know that all these people, there was a lot of hot people out here. You know?
You swiping like, wait, this is Miss Smith from next door? Like, what the hell?
And then you come to find out they're all filters.
Right, exactly. You go to borrow some sugar and you're like, oh, wait a minute, I'm good.
Yeah.
Have you experienced, since you've been married for 11 years, have you experienced insecurities? And if you have, how you and your husband work through them?
Mm-hmm. I feel like in the beginning, we were both very insecure with each other.
Okay.
No, actually, I'm lying. I was insecure. He was kind of like really confident because he was like the cute one. And I was like, like he could get better. And, anyways. So, I felt like I was insecure and it led to a very toxic, very bumpy relationship.
Okay.
But then, a girl,
got it together.
She
made it happen.
I
love it.
There was like a little glow up moment.
Got your confidence.
Yeah. And it was like, oh, why am I being insecure?
Okay.
No, actually, it was going to school. That made me getting like a better job.
Right.
Making more money than him. Those little things. Like,
make it different. You were upgrading.
Yeah.
You're elevating.
Now we're at the same level, but like back in the day, like I was,
a little bit off.
Yeah, I was a little bit more, a little bit more extra. So, of course, that gave me confidence, which made me stop being insecure.
Okay,
and
good.
I feel like nowadays that is the situation. I feel like when you are insecure is because you feel like you're lacking in an area.
Right.
And
you're not lacking in that area anymore.
I don't think I'm lacking. No,
you're good. You're good. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
You said briefly that you came from a toxic relationship in your statement. Coming from something like that and then going into marriage, how is that transition mentally for you to adjust? Because that is a hell of an adjustment.
Yeah.
You want to get into it a little bit for us.
So I feel like when it was first toxic, of course, I was so dramatic. If like I saw something that he was looking at and it was like another female, or if I saw a female smiling at him, that shit hurts. And that pissed me off. And but
even
again,
if it wasn't a big deal, just because the past kind of hit you.
Like I remember one time we went to a wedding and there was this fine ass girl there, and she was annoying. She was like smiling at my man, and I was like, you know what? Like if you're my husband, you need to like roll your eyes at her. Wow. I don't know, spit at her. I don't know, do something.
Wow.
Do something for her to stop. Like make it stop. Okay. And he's a gentleman, so he didn't do anything. And again, it's not his fault. That the girl was checking him out.
Right. But is that a compliment to you, though? That's a compliment.
No, I just got so angry. And instead of me thinking, like, okay, she thinks my man's fine.
Right.
No, like, I was like, you know what? Now you're going to pay for not, like, You know,
Wow.
I don't know. I was again
Wow.
toxic.
No,
I was just
no,
like,
that
you're gonna
is.
pay, so now I'm gonna get every man, all the men here. I'm gonna get all their attention, and I'm gonna get you mad.
Wow.
So I was petty and toxic. It's like the
Wow.
worst combination ever.
Now, how long was this into the marriage coming from the toxic? Was
Oh,
it
that
the
lasted
first
5
2 or
years.
3 years? Oh, damn. That's damn near half the marriage.
That was 5 years of toxic. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, well,
How does your well, that's a lot for one.
Yes.
How does your husband deal with that? Because clearly it's on purpose because of what you've gone through. Well, let me not say that. Let me not put that on you because it could be intentional and unintentional just from what you've seen from the PTSD from the toxic relationship before. But how do you do that for 5 years and then get to a point, say, you know what, I need to stop this shit. We need to do better.
Okay, so I feel like for me, I've always been toxic in the beginning. Like not now anymore, guys. I'm healthy now.
Okay.
You guys are getting a healthy,
The healthy version of Lulu.
me.
Okay, got
But
it.
I used to be very toxic, so I do understand the pettiness. And I think it was just based on insecurities, based on me not doing enough for myself. You know, school, a better job,
Right.
just, you know, having my shit together obviously helped me
Right.
to feel like I had my own,
More
I could
secure
hold
and
my
feel
own.
better.
Exactly.
Right. Did the previous relationship, did you feel like that with that person too? Is that why you brought that into this one? Or was it a combination of
No, I
things?
think I'm just like, I've always been a little kid. Like if, you know, we're trick-or-treating, I'm gonna take your candy.
Okay.
You know, I've just
I'm
always
not
been,
winning, I'm
I
taking
just
my
always
ball
want my,
home.
yeah,
Right.
I'm not gonna share. I've
Right.
never been to sharing. I
Right.
don't, you know, I always have to win. I'm very competitive. So I think it's just like, I just grew up with that. That's just like my core. But now I know, like, you know, I'm not trying to get my ass beat or get in fights
No, we
all
don't
the
want
time.
that.
So
No, we don't want
a
that.
girl
'Cause
gotta
people
chill.
are crazy. Yeah, people are crazy. This is a whole nother world. People
Chill
are
now.
crazy as hell.
Yeah. I'm
In that
healthy.
process, did your husband recognize that? Did he say like,
Oh, yeah,
look,
he thought it was
say,
toxic.
"Look, babe, we gotta work this out.
I-
We gotta get something together in order to make this work better for us. Otherwise, we're gonna have to call it quits." How did that process work?
I think he's like from the hood, so he like, I don't know, it was entertaining.
Okay.
Because, you know, sometimes having these really highs and really lows
Right.
kind of like make you want the person even more.
That's true.
Unfortunately, like it's like you kind of feel the pain, so it's like I don't know, they're gravitated towards you.
Okay.
It doesn't come easy, I guess.
Right.
Like I remember I used to be like at parties, I used to walk out on him, and he used to be driving in his car, following me in the sidewalk, and knowing
Like a movie.
damn well,
What? That you was gonna go. That you was gonna go
knowing
anywhere.
damn well that I'm eventually gonna get on the car, but like be like, no, maybe I might not. Maybe I will get
Oh,
a
my
taxi.
goodness.
Like, you know, but yeah, that level of petty, but.
But he hung in there.
He loved me, and
Okay.
I loved him equally. So it's
That's
like,
good.
I think that's what made us stay.
Now, one of the things that you talked about prior to us coming on is you have some friends who have been made to feel insecure. I know people who have been made to feel insecure. And I know I don't know a lot of women who do this to men, but I know men, when they have a gorgeous woman like yourself as a
Thank you.
wife, and they don't wear that, or don't do this, or don't go here, or don't do there. After 11 years, and I think that there has to be a balance to this. Let me just say that. There has to be a balance to what your wife should and shouldn't wear to an
Right,
extent.
right.
But you have to give them freedom. How do you adjust with that? And what would you suggest to a lady who's listening to the podcast or watching the video who's dealing with that right now, and she wants to either say, I'm going to leave, or I want to stay with my husband, but I don't feel like I'm growing, I can be myself because of his controlling and his jealousy?
I think I'm actually still trying to navigate that myself. So I
Okay.
can't necessarily say that I have the best ideas
Well,
or
give us
the
a
best
little
advice
bit.
for you
Give us
guys,
a little
for
bit.
you ladies. But for example, I am, like I said, I'm married for 11 years. I do what I want. we come,
Wait,
we
what?
Come, we come to the point where like this relationship is kind of solid right now. It's 11 years. He knows up to how far he can piss me off. I know kind of
How far you
also
can go.
I know up to how far I can go with him too.
Right.
And I feel like we've gone through a lot of shit, but we really do love each other.
Okay.
But I feel like for example, my dress code should not be, you know, there shouldn't be any pushback with my dress code. Number one, I was raised in a family where my dad gave me liberty to wear whatever I wanted.
Okay.
I remember, you know, someone would say, oh my God, that's so inappropriate for a little girl. But my dad just like, if she's happy, if she wants to wear a cowgirl hat with a tank top and some Spice
And
Girl
some boots,
platforms,
right.
go for it, baby.
Right.
And so he gave me liberty for that. So I'm
Okay.
like, how am I going to go back? Like
Right.
if my daddy gave me the freedom to wear whatever I want, why would I let a man let me tell me what not to wear. It's kind of stupid. Like, I'm a big girl. I know when I want to look elegant, I'm going to dress the part. I know when I can look casual, I will dress the part. And I know when I'm going to be like a hoochie. Like, I know that I can be that part too. Like, and allow me to express myself however I feel fit.
But I think that there's levels to hoochiness, right? All the other ones, because let me say this, right? Even if we were a couple,
as I'm covering my cleavage,
and we're going out, I'm like, hey, you know what? You look good, but are you really gonna wear the booty shorts with the flip flops on and the tank top? Because a couple things. One, to me, I don't know how all men are, but my first mindset as a provider in a relationship is your safety.
Right.
And people was crazy. People will pull up in a van, people gonna whistle at you, all that good stuff. Right. Then the second thing is, I really don't want everybody looking at my wife and all the goods that she has, or my girl and all the goods that she has. So there has to be some kind of balance or understanding in that perspective of the hoochiness, just the hoochiness.
Okay, I agree, but that's why I'm not gonna be like a crazy girl who's walking on the sidewalk with like her ass hanging out. Right. Like, that's not me. Like, I do wear elegant. Girl, have you seen my Instagram? I can dress very classy for you. Very low key, very neutral colors.
Saw that.
I will never use cleavage. I will never have open toe shoes. I know how to dress. Thank you, Speech and Debate, for shout out to Speech and Debate team for teaching me how to dress. So I can dress, but when I'm talking about is like when, let's say it's a party and I want to wear a particular something. And of course, if it's a family party, I'm not going to be so revealing. Right. Also I keep that in mind. But if it's something like I'm going to go to a club, I am going to show out. I'm going to show out.
What level is showing out? Are we wearing a Fashion Over? Because I've seen some dresses on Fashion Over with damn near everything.
No.
What are we talking about here?
Okay, so I think, I've never bought Fashion Nova first.
Okay.
And first of all, but and nothing against it. I feel like it's just like I need to try shit on.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I literally will wear it's one or the other. So if I'm showing cleavage, I won't show leg, and if I'm showing leg, I'm not gonna show cleavage. It's not gonna be like I'm not gonna show it all. It has to be some balance there. Okay. And again, I'm not trying to look tacky out in these streets. That's why, like, allow me to dress how I want, For example, I think like the main issue, and I think we talked about it last time, is like Halloween.
Right.
Okay. So Halloween doesn't count.
Yeah, let's tell them about it. I hear this all the time, but go ahead. Tell them about the Halloween outfit.
Doesn't count, but like, for example, I love Halloween. That's like my favorite holiday.
Okay.
And for one, I feel the need. I'm like the Beyonce. Like, I feel the need to like always outdo myself every Halloween, every year, of course. Just like Beyonce. Beyonce always outdoes herself.
Right.
She finds a way. So I feel like I have to figure something out and outdo myself.
Okay.
So last year I was this Halloween character. It was an HBO movie called La Veneno. Okay. And she was a trans woman. And if you haven't seen it, you guys should watch it. Again, it's an HBO.
Interesting.
It's like a docu-series, something like that. I'm not sure.
Gotcha.
Anyways. And my top was pasties. So my husband was like, I don't know about that outfit, that Halloween outfit. You're wearing.
Hold on.
Yes.
The top.
So there was
just
no
pasties.
Yeah.
Yes. No, nothing else.
No.
But pasties over the nipples.
Yes, pasties.
I want to make sure we get the visual.
Yes,
okay, got you.
Yes.
All right. Not so much the visual, but we understand.
Yeah, we understand.
Yeah, okay, got you. Okay, well, go ahead.
So I wore the pasties, and I wanted to do the costume because, again, it was an original idea because I knew nobody was going to be La Veneno. Right. Obviously, I was like the only one probably in my area who was La Veneno. And, who get it, those who get it, and those who don't. And I felt sexy because I wanted to be sexy, but I wanted to be original.
Right.
And I really liked this character. So I was like, this is perfect. Now, this year, I found another outfit. Another costume that I want to do. But my husband was like, you're not going to, you already did it last year.
So your husband went with the pasties?
Yeah, he was
at the party.
Yeah, he wasn't okay with it, but he was like, whatever. Wow, you already did it, whatever. We're not going to fight.
Okay.
But this year, he's like, no, like, we're not going to do.
Tell the people what you want to be this year.
I can't, because y'all gonna copy. You guys are gonna copy my outfit.
Okay. Wait, this is.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Hold on. Let me see. Yeah, so Monday.
People are like, bitch, nobody wants to be your stupid ass costume. Yeah. But yeah, anyways, yeah. So I just feel like, again, Halloween, I won't. It'll be a secret until like the day of.
Don't tell them what it is.
Okay, but
what does it entail?
Body paint.
Just body paint.
Body paint and beads. No costume, no outfit.
No covering.
I think the only thing that I will have on my body is a wig.
Damn.
The only tangible thing will be beads and a wig, and everything else is going to be body
Tell
paint.
me how that conversation goes with your husband, because that may be an argument. I'm
That
pretty
was
sure
an
that's
argument. Yeah, he stopped talking to me for like a week, but I'm like, dude, he'll get over it.
So you still going like that?
I'm still gonna go. Yeah, I already bought everything. Like, I already made the expense. I already bought the body paint. Like, the body paint itself was already $85.
Wow.
So
Okay.
I'm already went there. It's happening.
It's done.
Yeah.
How do you feel when you go places like that? So let me ask you this. Describe the crowd of the party. Is it family? Is it friends? A combination?
Okay,
How is the
absolutely
party?
not family.
Okay.
So I have a family PG
PG.
rated costume.
Okay.
And that's gonna be like, I'm a little nurse. So it's, again, in the
Simple.
outfits, not even hoochie, it's not sexy. It's like up to like my knees,
Okay.
and there's no cleavage, the zip
it.
up. So very, very family, oriented.
Right.
However, the other one, I want to go to LA, obviously.
So it's an LA party?
Yeah, I want to do it now. I still haven't found the party that I'm going to go to.
Oh, you
But I
didn't know
have-
you wearing it yet.
but
You just got- okay.
My friends,
Damn.
and I have a lot of friends in LA, and I'm sure we'll find a party. And I told my husband, like, we're going to go to LA, and then, I want to dress up.
Another question.
Yes.
Is your husband going with you to the party?
Yes, of course.
Oh, okay. I just want to make sure. Okay,
Yeah,
because you said
yeah.
your friend's going to LA. I just want to make sure. Your
Yeah.
husband is going, right?
No, he's
Okay.
going to go. Of course,
Got
he's going to
you.
go.
Okay, good. I want to make sure of that.
No, he's
That's-
having. Oh, sorry.
With that, I understand the independence of women and the prevailing, women prevailing and moving forward in society and just becoming strong and independent. I get that. I also get the balance to it when you're in a relationship is not about you. You have to compromise. In that situation, was there any compromise? And were you afraid, even though you said your husband didn't talk to you for a week, that could have been worse than that. Was that in any fears that this could really draw a line for my husband and I and cause a bigger issue because of what I want to wear?
Again, I think this is why I said it wasn't like a recommendation for the ladies, because I myself am navigating this thing called a marriage, and
Right.
I just feel like if you love me, we've already been with each other for 11 years. If this is really like, I can't do this anymore, like your outfits are just, I can't.
Too much.
It's too much. Then, he has to respect his feelings. He has to respect his emotions, and he needs to do what he has to do. And if that means cutting ties with me, then that's what that means for him, because it's, breaking his peace. Now, for me, it's super important to have like autonomy of myself and my body and my expression of self, that I will continue to do myself forever.
Got you. Okay. Interesting. All right. That's
Of course, being respectful with him.
Yeah, no,
But I'm
definitely.
going to still do me when it comes to like expressing myself in outfits.
I mean, after 11 years, clearly something has worked because people don't even have relationships these days for 11 months, let alone 11 years.
Yeah, no,
As-
for sure.
As a result of that, you all are making it work despite what everyone else may think or their opinions, you're still making it work. So that's a good
Right.
thing. Now, other thing we talked about is, and I've had this happen too, where we have different associates or friends or people who are confident in themselves, they're building confidence, and they may not have started that way, like you just said, you didn't start that way in your marriage, but they're gaining that momentum. Their husband or their spouse doesn't feel like they want them to continue, which I've heard this so many times, where a woman's doing well and she's working out and she has a good job and she's doing all these different things. They're like, no, stop, stay at home, don't work, do this, have a child, and because of the man was as an alpha male, like I'm in charge, but I don't want my woman to progress or be better because I want control, which to me is low-key narcissism. However, that's a different topic. What do you feel about that and people who have experienced that, and what advice could you give to a woman who's facing that but wants to get ahead, but loves her husband, but wants to grow instead of dumbing herself down to be in a marriage?
Okay, so I guess I have two personalities in me. One's toxic, so here goes the first toxic advice.
Okay.
Just you do what he says temporarily, trap him, get him emotionally involved, and then do what you want to do.
Okay. All right.
That's what I did.
Okay. All right.
11 years, baby.
Right. Something's working. Something's working.
And here's
That must be a super trap
I
because
know.
he is not going nowhere.
And then my healthy advice for my healthy ladies would be, stay true to yourself. If your man doesn't want you to do certain things, and that doesn't align with what it is that you want or see in your future or in your present, then he's not the guy for you. Just keep on moving. There's eventually going to be somebody else who is going to be up to your standards, or who is going to let you and allow you to continue with your profession and continue, and love the way that you express yourself with your outfits. There's going to be other men out there. So, I mean, girls, there's a lot of men out there. So you don't have to tie to one just because you met him. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, it does.
I feel like I'm rambling right now.
No, I don't think you're rambling. I think you're saying you're giving them two different. You're balancing the scale with your advice.
So either you trap them emotionally, or you find somebody else who will align to what it is that you want, or
understand understand what you want. I think that in that process, especially in a marriage, it's harder to get out when you're already in. Right. I think if you're dating, that's easy to do because it's like, shit, I'm dating, or you're my fiance. We can break this off. But when you're already married and you're so far in, that's a little bit more difficult. It's just that I think that from a man's perspective, we need to give. I just don't understand why men don't want to build a woman up, especially if you're with that woman, opposed to saying, no, you can't do this. No, you can't do that, because you're bettering yourself and you're looking a certain type of way. It's just weird to me, and that's why it's men these days are just kind of different.
I honestly don't understand why a man would get a woman who's already built and then try to bring her down. Like, exactly. I think that's preposterous. Like that's so stupid. Like, I don't understand why anybody would do something like that, because, if she's already, has her career, she's a go-getter, and she's doing herself, going to the gym, looking fine, and getting her outfits on, and she's just, this bad bitch, altogether. Why would you want to bring her to your level? And like, ladies, why would you allow yourselves to come down and, dress different for a guy, or make less just to make him feel comfortable? I also don't appreciate that there's sometimes that women that like they're making more than their husbands, and they feel scared. Like they don't want to like it's gonna emasculate a man if they say, I'm the breadwinner in this household,
or demasculate him.
And the husbands feel upset too when they're like, hey, they're sharing that they are making more. It makes them feel less than, and it's like, that's not okay. That's literally not okay.
I think overall we just have to find balance with things, and when you have balance, and when you can communicate with that person how you feel and work it out to where you can get, because that's one of the best deals, right? In negotiating, when everybody feels happy at the end of the deal, then you've done good. And I think that that's part of what marriage is sometimes missing, because like you said, you and your husband communicate, so you all work it out. Whatever it is, you all work it out. It works. A lot of people don't work it out and communicate that. And at the end of the day, I think honestly it would be kind of weird if my wife made more than me when I get married. If she did, I was like, ooh, okay, I got to step my game up. But shit, if I married Halle Berry, what can I do? You know what I mean? Like, really, at the end of the day, unless I become this super producer or actor, at the same time, at the end of the day, I think that everybody needs a balance to it, but you should never demote or criticize or talk about somebody or make them change their ways if they want to become a better person.
Correct. And I mean, if your future wife is making more, like, that's just going to make you trying to like level up with her.
100%.
It's going to be a motivator.
Yes, it is.
I know that with my husband and I, like, it's always like that. Like, I get a raise, and then he gets a raise, and then I try to beat him, and then it's like, it's a fun,
it's righteous competition.
Yeah, it's a nice competition, because I mean, the family wins.
Right. So, because you guys are all together anyways, not as if you're doing your own thing, he's doing his. It all goes to the pot of building generational wealth and having good financings and stability. Right. Which is good. I love that. That's really good. Yeah. Now, in this process, how many children do you have?
I have 3 kids. So,
okay.
Yeah. And but I feel like 4, because I'm also raising my sister now.
Okay, got you. That's beautiful.
So 4 kids.
Very nice of you. How do you balance out in this 11 years? And the reason why I asked you about the children, just because I want to give the perspective to the audience. Okay. How do you balance out children with being independent, working and continuously leveling up, and still providing for your household and your husband?
I mean, it's hard.
Okay. I would think so.
It's hard, but I'm very true to who I am. So I'm going to give it my 100% to my children. I'm trying to be the best mom that I can. Of course, sometimes you got to pivot, because you can't be a best mom and then a best wife and the best worker at, like, in the professional world. You just can't be the best at everything at one time. So it's just a matter of like knowing when to pivot.
Got you.
These different areas. Like,
okay.
Okay.
So you categorize
yeah.
to an extent.
Correct.
And then make sure everything is taken care of.
So if like right now it's important for me to step it up at work, I will pivot. And of course that means that I'm probably going to lack in, the side of being a mother or the side of like giving less attention to my husband. And let's say like I see that my husband, he's feeling a particular way or he's sad about something, then I'm going to pivot my attention to whatever's important at that time.
Got you.
So pivoting.
That's a good way to do it. So you're working on all aspects. And when I used to play basketball, I still play a little bit, but I'm saying in high school, you have a pivot, right? And you have to pivot because of the defense and the offense. So when you said that, it made me think about that.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of work, but at the end of the day, it's very rewarding.
Yeah, it's juggling. It's not going to be multitasking because I don't think there's such a thing as being a great multitasker.
Right.
You're going to give your attention more or your focus more to a particular area in your life. So I think that just, being self-aware of what's more important at this point in time and then taking care of it and then moving on to the next thing.
Okay.
Yes.
Good deal. Now, at the end of the day, the younger version of you, right?
Yes. Oh no.
If we go back, you said the 5 years of toxicity coming from the previous relationship. Because you're more mature, because you're more dedicated, because you have a better understanding, what could you have done different in those 5 years? I'm asking that question. So someone who's going through it doesn't have to wait 5 years, but what do you think that you could have done different that it wouldn't have took you 5 years to get to that point?
I would say just focus on yourself, grow yourself. I don't know if that means like not having children. I don't know if that means like not having a husband, but I do mean like focus on yourself because if you feel like you're lacking in a place, you're going to project that onto a lot of relationships. And you don't want to do that. True. You don't want to project, your insecurities on your husband or your lack of development on your children.
Right.
And I think it's just ideal for you to like take care of and get to know yourself, probe yourself, travel, do what it is, do whatever it is that you want to do in this life, being single and just kind of knowing who you are, like knowing who the heck who you are and what you want. Because, sometimes we also rush into relationships.
That's true. And I was going to ask you that.
We don't even know who we are.
That's true indeed. Would you say you should have waited before you got married coming from the previous relationship? Would that have helped you?
Yeah, I always joke around, but yeah, I think I would have waited.
Okay.
I think I would have moved to Italy. And,
to Italy? Okay. That's a good place to go for a little while.
Moved to Italy and just, been a single girl over there.
Got you. What is a good time you think in between relationships? Good, bad, indifferent. Just taking time for self, as you just brought up a very good point of becoming a better version of you before you hop right in. Because there's a saying. What was the saying that my friends used to say? If you go from one, the best way to get over one is to get under another one. But I think that's crazy. And then it's like, okay, you gotta race and replace, something like that. Anyway, it's a bunch of crazy sayings. However, I think the best remedy is taking that time. What is the time that you would suggest for somebody?
I would say anything after 30.
After 30 days?
30 days of a relationship or years?
I'm
I'm
talking about coming out of a relationship before you go into a new relationship. How long would you take in between?
Oh my God.
How much time would you take for yourself?
I feel like this is such a hard question because if I say something, I'm going to sound like a hypocrite because like I didn't wait very much long.
No, but you've learned now. So you got a hypocrite. It's maturity.
I would say a year.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know. I'm a hypocrite right now. No, I'm just trying to be healthy for you guys. I said a year. I felt peer pressured by
we want
James.
Honesty. No peer
but
pressure.
Yeah, I don't think there's a time frame. I think when you feel it, and go for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got you. You just take your time.
If it's a week, it's a week, babe.
Just
go for it.
I've read where it says it takes 21 days to break a habit. That we can maybe use that as a minimum, but I get that part of it as well. That's good.
I don't think people are habits though. People are like, people are people. And then, and there's like this, you feel the vibe when you're with somebody. Like either you already know like, I'm never going to see him again.
Is that a false vibe because it's better than what I just got finished dealing with? That's the other part too.
No, because I think like if you dig deep, when you're just fantasizing.
Okay.
Like you're like, I'm stretching right now because I'm thinking I'm already imagining the baby and I'm already imagining this. I'm already imagining we're gonna go to Jamaica. Like, babe, you're fantasizing. So I think we like in I think if we dig deep, we know that we're fantasizing and we're projecting this illusion. But I feel like if we're like, serious and we're just like kind of sensing it and, not rushing into things. And also we're not like under the influence of anything.
Right. That makes a difference. That makes a difference too. Yeah.
If you're in the
get
influence
caught up
of
real
things,
quick.
you're like, that's my babe, you know? But
I love him. Like, wait, today.
I want to be married right now. Let's go to Vegas.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
But I'm saying if you're not under the influence and you're kind of stable headed, I don't even know what that means. But anyways, if you just feel like you're chill, you're normal right now.
Right.
As normal as you can be for yourself, then I think that if you want to go for it, go for it.
That's helpful.
Yeah.
Good. Where would you like to see yourself going from now as far as your relationship? Obviously, you want to continue to go from 11 to 15, 20, 25 years of marriage. But on a personal level, since you've overcome so much to get to this point, where would you like to see yourself as far as the future?
I would just want to grow with my husband. I want my husband to, find what it is that his hobby is, and for me to find that thing, and then for both of us to kind of like share those beautiful things together, but still grow together.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I want a long relationship.
So you want growth.
I do want growth.
Good deal.
Yeah, I want to be in bougie places with my husband. I don't know, talking shit about the rich people. I don't know.
Right. You want to enjoy life. That's what it is. You want to enjoy life.
We want to be connoisseurs, but acting all classy, but inside we're hood still.
Right. No, that's the best way. That's the best fun that you're gonna have. No, that really makes a difference. At the end of the day, if we could give women and men too, but in this specific topic, we're talking about more women because women go through it, I like to say, a lot more. What could we give? What could you give? I hate when people say one piece of advice. I don't think there's just one thing that you can do. But what can women do who are on the fence or on the borderline of staying or going, who feel like they're not growing, who feel like they're not making progress in their life, and they're in not so much a relationship, but a relationship and a marriage? What can they do to not feel that way anymore moving forward?
So you mean they're already in a relationship and they want to move forward?
Correct.
And they feel stagnant.
Yeah, they feel trapped.
I would say, do you, boo. I know that sometimes there's like a fear behind it. Like, what happens if my partner's not okay with it, or he gets upset, or he leaves, or it's going to be a fight for sure if I do this trip, or if I dress this way, or if I say this thing, or if I continue with this project, my husband's not going to be okay with it.
Right.
I would say, do you, and eventually if he is the right guy for you, and if he does truly love you, he's going to eventually, be okay with what makes you happy, because he's going to see that it really is making you happy. If you are quick to just kind of like put your own dreams and kind of plans on the side, then he thinks, oh, maybe it wasn't that serious for her. So, it's fine. Like, I don't get my feelings hurt. My insecurities don't rise up. She's going to stop doing whatever it is that bothers me.
Right.
Clearly it didn't mean that much to her because she stopped doing it. And then we're a happy marriage. But that deep down inside, you just stopped to kind of keep the marriage in peace.
Right.
But that's not what you want to do. And eventually what's going to end up happening if you keep kind of, stopping yourself from growing, or, just, being, I don't know, what's the word? Like
being authentic.
Yeah, hindering yourself. Then I feel like eventually then you're the one who's going to blow up at one point, and you're not going to no longer tolerate it. You're going to be sick of him. He's going to give you the ick. I don't know.
Yeah, no,
and you're
all
just
hell's going to break loose.
Divorce. And, why not just like, no, this means a lot to me. I'm going to stick to my guns. If you don't like it, let him get mad. Heck, if he's going to leave, he's going to leave.
Another part to that is a lot of women, which I hear they can't make it by themselves, especially with the way the economy is, the way things go. Some women don't even work. And I think that truly that's on purpose on some men's part, so they can't keep them there and they don't have money and finances. A woman like that who says, damn, I want to do it, Lou. Everything you're saying is right, but how do I do it and support myself or my 2 children or my 3 children? How can I make that move and still be authentic to me so I can grow and be better, but I'm scared to take that leap financially?
Well, then I think, like my therapist said one time, don't make any like big decisions when there's like, when you have problems with like shelter or, finances, or when you're struggling, like, and your personal needs are not being met, you can't make big decisions. So I feel like kind of like fortify yourself, get strong, start saving money, before you leave that man.
No, so in other words, you kind of have to you have to steal away. You have to do it slowly but surely. You
gotta
there you
gotta
go.
plan it out. If
Blueprint.
that means going back to school, go back to school. If that means like getting
Going
a little
to a friend's
side
house,
hustle,
your mom's house,
learning how to do acrylics, I don't know, doing something to get you some money so you can eventually leave. I think that would be ideal for you.
That does make sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Also, to include that to piggyback on that, I think that you should also just build. You brought up the best part. Build your confidence, because when you're confident, there's nothing that can stop you. When you have your faith and your mind set on something, there's nothing that can stop you. And once you do that, then the sky's the limit, no matter what situation is, no matter who's around and what you're facing.
Right. Totally.
And that is wonderful.
Work on yourself.
Yeah. Work on yourself. Yes.
Work on yourself, whatever that means.
I like the fact that you have two personalities. It's interesting. I mean, obviously, thank God I don't have to live with that, but it is nice that you do, because you have two different perspectives.
Yeah, I do.
And from both of those perspectives, it can go good or bad, but at least it gives you a mindset to be able to face and get out of whatever situation that you're in.
And I mean, the thing that I feel like, it's not like it's a threatening thing that I have two personalities.
Okay.
I'm not no Gemini.
A serial killer, right?
I'm a Leo.
Okay.
You already know, bad bitch gang. But I feel like I'm very honest about my agenda. Like you will never say like, I don't know, does she like me? Does she not like me? Or I don't know what Lulu thinks about this, or I don't know what she's going to say. I am very freaking clear about what it is that I'm okay with, what I'm not okay with. Good. I mean, that could be a horrible thing for me if somebody's like plotting against me because they would know all my moves. But I honestly, like, I'm not threatened. I'm not doing anything to feel like somebody's going to attack me or somebody's going to expose me. So that's why I'm so candid. I'm so candid because I don't care. Like, you don't got nothing on me, girl. So it's just like, I just feel like I'm going to be myself, and I'm going to give you my honest feedback, and I am going to be true to you. I do have this toxic personality that I used to be, and I get it. I understand it. When I hear other people being a particular way, I get it. I was there in the past before. Now I just want to live healthy, and I want to go with my kids. I want to build the best little humans, and I want to grow a big, long relationship with my husband, and hopefully a successful one where we are both happy and we both allow each other to be who we want to be.
I love that. I love that because it shows so much growth and maturity. Now mind you, there's still some parts there, but you never.
No, I recognize them. I clock them.
That's the good part. Yeah. You can address them and you can point them out. And to a certain extent, I'm not going to tell you a lie. To a certain extent, it's kind of good to have that sometimes because you never know what's going to happen. And to me, I can just tell you, even recently, there have been people that ask like, okay, I'm going to be good with that person, I'm going to be good with that person. And then that person switches up. You're like, mother effer, why didn't I just keep that same mindset? And sometimes that does help you because when you fall into an emotional state or you feel sad or you feel bad, that's going to drive you crazy.
Yeah.
And you don't want that. It's just too much going on in life for you to have to deal with that. But I like that perspective.
Oh, thank you.
That's good.
Thank you.
That's really good.
I like it too. I've been living with it.
Yeah, well, clearly it works because here you are. 11 years later, here you are. And we can appreciate that. Well, thank you so much for coming on and taking the time. We have to do some other topics because I just love your perspective. It's different from what I'm used to and what I hear, but you give an honest and real aspect, and that's what people miss, right? People always say, oh, the couple who's perfect, or I got this BMW. They don't say that the repo man's looking for the BMW, or the husband just beat his wife, or the wife beat her husband last night. And so many people miss that authenticity that is good to see it in you. And I appreciate you for that. So we want to highlight that. And not only that, it's also good that you're just truthful and forthcoming because you don't find that. And that makes for not only a good wife, it makes for a good mother, a good friend, a good employee, and all the way around. I like that. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, definitely. No, 100%.
I'm glad this is being recorded. I'm going to post this on my Instagram.
Yeah, no, you should.
On my Insta reel.
you don't see that type of authenticity anymore. We miss that in society, and I'm glad that you're bringing it back.
Thank you for having me, guys. And again, just trying to make sure that all us ladies, we're happy and we're living our best lives.
Yes.
Because if you guys are happy, the whole world is happy. Because
100%.
guess who's the one with the children and who's teaching the generation. It's
That's
us.
right.
So we have all this responsibility. So it's good for us to be thriving and happy.
Yeah, it is. And the saying "happy wife, happy life" is 100. I mean, I'm not married, but I do know that concept. And women are so vital to the upliftment of a civilization. Women are so vital to a man becoming a successful man. There's not one man that I think that anyone can find that says, "Oh, I did this by myself." Oh, no. They have this woman by my side. Whether they did her wrong, she came back, she left. That woman is there to help build that empire. And that's always the cause and effect of having a good woman. Even though they try to belittle them and take away from them or they don't have any value. No, you have the utmost 1 billion% value in a man's life and in this world to help us become better people.
I agree.
Well, I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Good looking out. Well, until next week, thank you for listening to episode 5, and we'll come back to you soon.
Goodbye.